Warning: the following podcast contains strong language which some listeners may find offensive. If you do,
Up yours! That's only if you don't listen to the podcast. Otherwise, not up yours.
hello and welcome to another special episode of the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. My name is Troy and I am joined as always by Jay, and we have a very, very special guest on this particular episode of the podcast. It is the one and only Mr. Gene Munny. How are you?
Well, shake him, Troy. How we doing?
Very well, very well. Are you?
Yeah, absolutely golden. All is well. James, we good?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Fantastic. No, all is well. Yeah. I've got me championship on. We're all doing well.
I've got it on my little man bag, always just on there.
Oh, look at that! Look at that shiny monster.
That's it, man. So we usually kick things off with how did you get into wrestling? What were your kind of early inspirations? What did you gravitate to? All of that sort of stuff.
I gravitated towards video games. Like, don't get me wrong, wrestling's all lovely and stuff, but it weren't that gravitated me to it. It were my mate Gary. I was just at his house and he was playing on games as a teenager, like SmackDown 3 or something, and it was just I was like, oh shit, this is madness. I can be a man doing some sort of splash off a giant fist on top of a stage. That's dope. And then I watched the show and I'm like, oh shit, this is real. What? And so yeah, it was a weird kind of relationship. And then I loved it. You know, wrestling's wonderful. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't. And then yeah, I hated it because I thought, oh, this is rubbish now. And then I saw someone teaching like wrestling lessons, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. And too many years have passed since then, and here we are.
So you have a bit of a love-hate relationship, or did at one point. You kind of.
Oh, it's very love-hate. Yeah, there's I mean, people can say that about my entire wrestling career. I'm sure a lot of people do not enjoy what I do, and that's fine. Good for you.
Fair. Each to their own and all that. We're
Absolutely
on your fan base. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So I know you said you kind of you didn't get your influences from watching wrestling. It was more from games and stuff. But were there any kind of wrestlers in those games maybe that you kind of took influence from, or some that you kind of favored? What I'm asking is, did you have favorite wrestlers growing up? Have any of them kind of influenced maybe not necessarily kind of character stuff, but maybe like in-ring style or move set or anything like that?
Like in regards to wrestlers I loved when I was a kid, like Rey Mysterio and stuff like that. Obviously, bright colors, man flying about the place, and you're like, whoa, that's pretty wild. But as you can imagine, I have not taken a lick of Rey Mysterio with me on my journey. Maybe like the underdog story, but you know, he's a 5'4" man in a mask who's jumping all over the place, and I'm not. Like Edge was a massive inspiration to me. Like he was the first bad guy I remember proper watching it going, haha, I'm entertained. Like there's so many good bad guys now that I look back at and I hated when I was growing up. And then I realized, oh no, they were just very good at what they were doing. JBL, couldn't stand him. It was my mate's favorite wrestler. I was like, oh, I hate it. Now JBL, oh, love his stuff. Absolutely
Great
fantastic.
heel.
Yeah, just the best. And just the way he moves, the way he hits. Oh, like more wrestlers should be like JBL. But I don't know. I take as much inspiration from outside of wrestling as I do inside of wrestling. Because in wrestling, like I assume everyone I share a locker room with has probably been inspired by similar wrestlers or, you know, whoever. And so I think it's nice to get inspiration from outside of there sometimes. So everyone's not looking the same.
Fair enough.
So like,
yeah.
I like 90s surrealist British comedies. I was a massive Vic and Bob fan and stuff like that. I try to take that level of humor into some of the stuff that I do. Just characters and stupidity that, you know, I'm not afraid to make a fool of myself and have a good time whilst.
That's it. We've got a question a little later on, but it kind of feels like we've naturally segued onto that anyway. And it comes
Let's
from
do it. Let's do
it
it.
comes from Ben, who we do the podcast with as well. Unfortunately, he's working this evening, but he said you're quite well known for being very vocal and hilarious in the ring. Do you plan these vocal outbursts before the match, or is it something that you just do in the heat of the moment?
Oh man, we're probably breaking all the walls tonight, aren't we? I don't know what I'm going to say before I go out there. I think there have been times where I'm like, oh my God, if I say this, it's going to be so funny. And I'll get out there and I'll just forget. So I don't bother planning things anymore in regards to what I'm going to say. It's just, I just want to hear what the crowd is saying. And if they're saying something, I'll probably take some inspiration from them and muck about. And it becomes one of these things where, like, I love reactions as a wrestler. Like, I am proper jonesing for a reaction when I go out there. And if I'm not getting it, I'm a very sad boy. But it's like sometimes you can get a better reaction for just saying something funny than you can for a pile driver. And I mean, that means I don't have to land on my head. So, you know,
Less of that, the better.
No planning whatsoever in regards to that stuff. I can't be asked with that. It's too few hours in the day to pretend you're funny. Just go out there, and if you say something, because there's a lot of times I've gone out there and said stuff and it don't work. And you know, whatever. You know, you try and
just get on with it. Yeah,
that's it. But that's what I really enjoy about wrestling, that you can just try whatever and you can learn if something works or not on the job. That's nice.
Yeah. Again, to that point, and it's not something that's on here, but it was something I was kind of thinking of. You were talking about kind of characters and trying stuff out. I remember you put a little video piece online a good few months ago, and it was kind of very much like a detective kind of noir thing, and that was something that was a little bit different that we don't really see, and that's quite cool. But I suppose my question is, you were saying about you really enjoyed Edge's heel character and you enjoyed JBL's heel character. Is that something that you could kind of look towards doing, or you know, if you were to go that way, kind of what differences would you kind of have to adjust in maybe what you say or do, mannerisms?
I don't know. I think it has to come natural, stuff like that. I mean, if we're going to be talking about playing heel and playing face, then like I am a heel at like North, but I did it completely. It is all natural. I'm a good guy who kept losing, and so I recruit Lycos Gym to teach me how to be a bad boy, and they've done it, and now I've gone a bit too far. That's just telling someone that their mum doesn't love them. It's real, you know, cheap shit.
Cheap shit.
You know, it's fun. I don't know. It depends how naturally we're going to progress with these things. You know, like G Money, he's a likable, lovely boy, and I think to just change all that and throw it out the window is too polar opposite of who I am as a character. I think if that was to happen and I became like a JBL or an Edge, it wouldn't feel natural. I don't think I'd be having fun. Like if you know, if you're getting a Gene Money who's not afraid to kick someone in the nuts a few times, I think you're very much going to be having the exact same character, just with more of a motive.
Just little subtle nuances and stuff like that, rather than an out and out kind of polar shift.
I just want to have fun, and if I'm not having fun, what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah, fair play. Go on, Jay.
Yeah, when you just said then about like kind of like feeling the crowd, I was there for the match you had with Scotty Too Hotty, and well, both of them, but the second one's the one that comes to mind, where you were like started shouting at him, I'm gonna beat you up in front of your son and stuff like that, when like the crowd started booing you a bit. So in terms of like the high profile matches you've had this year, did you approach these any differently, or did you just kind of do the same thing as you normally would have?
Well, I don't know. It depends who it is, really. Like, I think I always have misconceptions when I go into these matches of what it's going to be like and what I think it's going to be like, and then it's lovely when I'm wrong. Because with Scotty Tuati, first time I got told I'm getting booked against Scotty Tuati, I'm like, oh, I've seen people wrestle like the Legends match on Brit Rest, and it's, you know, that bump doesn't work for me, brother, and all this kind of stuff. But just having a chat with Scotty Too Hotty, he is genuinely just one of my favorites. He is a phenomenal human being, and the fact that we can make something so fun together. And it's not like there's any egos or anything like that. And I went into that with no expectations of just, all right, I'll take the worm, blah, 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 blah. You know, he's a hero. He's one of my heroes, you know, watching. But he was like, I felt silly for just thinking that because Scotty Too Hotty is the absolute fucking man. So when it was like, when Jay comes back to me and says, hey, Gene, do you want to wrestle Scotty Too Hotty again? I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I do. Yeah, so much. And then like Janela, I wrestled Janela back in 2019, and it was like he was just off AEW Triple Threat with Darby and Jimmy in that giant Cracker Barrel gimmick. And it was a Milton Keynes on a Wednesday night, and it drew maybe like 30 people. And maybe and no offense to the crowd if you're listening, if all 30 of you are listening, soz, you were the worst crowd. Like I watched the Speedball Mike Bailey versus Tate Mayfair's match. Like, so that's a banger right there. And it got no reception. I remember Tate did his elbow corner to corner, and I just went, yeah! I was the only one making noise.
Wow.
And so, yeah, like, and because it was like, I don't know, the 27th iteration of IPW where whoever was running it at the time wasn't paying their cameraman and wasn't paying their photographer. Like, I never saw that match. It's like it never even existed. So, and I don't have like fond memories of it because mainly I was a shit wrestler back then. So then going into this match with Joey, and it's going to be like my first live gimmick on Fight TV, and you know, just I hated having expectations because that thing was an absolute banger. It was lovely to be proven.
Awesome. We were there in attendance for that. It was superb. So much fun.
Joey's a fucking man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You also faced Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona, literally the day after. And it's just not nice having expectations of what people are going to be because they're usually wrong, I find, or at least either that or I'm an idiot. Like, it's one of the two. I'm happy to keep getting these things wrong because I keep having great times.
That's it, as long as you're having a great time.
Yeah.
So the comparison, obviously, you wrestled Matt Cardona. He's famous for having his own belt. As of you, how did that come about?
Well, the Gene Munny Championship at Gene Munny is one of the most beautiful bits of kit in the existence of professional wrestling. May I say, the most prestigious championship in all of British wrestling. If you don't believe me, well, maybe you should look in a mirror and question your entire identity as a human. But that's not what we're here about. Like, this is a championship because I feel like a champion and I deserve to feel like a champion. And maybe some people don't think I feel like a champion or look like a champion or even wrestle like a champion. But I thought, hey, let's get my name written 69 times on a championship belt because that's funny. And, you know, numbers. And we can go on like that and just be that. Like, I feel like somewhere down the pandemic and somewhere, I don't know, performing in front of no one during the Progress era and then doing, oh, look at me, I'm super strong style Gene for 6 months at Progress. You kind of forget that I used to be a bit of a funny bugger. And so I kind of needed to remind myself. And I reminded myself by winning. That's right, winning. I didn't have this custom made. This is entirely coincidental that's got my name on it. I went and won the Gene Munny Championship at Gene Munny, and no one's ever beaten me for it. It's had one defense, and that was against LJ Cleary, an Irishman, in Cardiff, which is in Wales, which isn't in English. So by that definition, I'm a world champion. Come at me, world. What you got? Nothing.
You can't argue that. Cannot argue.
I mean, you can, but you'd lose.
You can be exactly.
Absolutely. I feel like if people don't believe this is a world championship, they just, I don't know, maybe they just don't deserve to be happy in life.
Fair.
I think that's true.
So the pandemic era, the Clapham era, as they called it, of Progress Wrestling. Obviously, all behind closed doors, no crowd to kind of react and feed off and stuff like that. Someone like yourself who very much kind of responds to a live audience. How did you deal with that? How difficult was it? Talk us through some of that.
I think for someone like me, all that call and response malarkey, it's tough because you can be like, yeah, something funny, and then you just see Jack, the cameraman, just going. But because of how Progress is mic'd, like they don't really pick up a lot of that stuff. I mean, they still don't, and it really bothers me still. You know, you're having these matches where it's like you can say the funny things, but if the crowd aren't responding to it because, you know, they're non-existent and the cameras aren't even picking it up, then what the fuck am I doing? And so I found that quite difficult. I shat my pants in one match. That was also not fun. Last ever match of the Progress tapings. Cara Noir hit me with a middle kick. 40 seconds into the match. Good job. I can't even speak. Good job I wear 3 pairs of trunks. Didn't know I had food poisoning until that exact moment. That is an exclusive for you. I've not told anyone before. That's actually a lie. We told it a moment ago, but we've taken another take since then, and you'll never hear the end of it.
Oh, I'll have fun trying to work around that.
Yeah. Making me work for it. No, like it was a good opportunity to be a part of. And to be honest, you got a hotel for a weekend with some fantastic wrestler people, and I bonded a lot with people. Like I've got friends now in the industry who I didn't really know anything about before that. There's just a lot of good people backstage, a lot of fun stories that we still bring up. Just some really good times. Honestly, like as much in front of the camera, entertaining no one, but you know, backstage was fun as hell.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff. There's some positives come out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think we were beating WWE NXT UK some weeks. That was nice.
Yeah, man.
And it was fun to see. I don't know who was watching it because it was at the time where nobody wanted to tweet about Progress because like, Progress, no, I don't want to be, I don't want to show that I'm enjoying your stuff. But like, as soon as we got back, so many people come up to me at the merch desk and it's like, oh, I really enjoyed your stuff with Big Guns Joe, you know, things like that. Oh, we got to do the Doghouse rules match. That was fun. Big Guns Joe got locked in a cage. That was dope. I think it was like the only fun match that happened on those tapings. But it was fun. It was good.
Nice. Good stuff.
Interesting fact, I opened them and closed them tapings.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That was the first match and the last match.
Bucket list stuff, that is.
Sure.
I say bucket list stuff. No one wanted to say, oh, there's a pandemic, a global pandemic. I want to open and close them. But, you know, it's still cool.
Maybe people did. Maybe people have been, you know, hunkering down for that kind of, I want to know what it feels like to be part of a pandemic. All them zombie apocalypse preparers. They were like, oh, this is it. I've got it. And then it's just a bit of sitting at home, isn't it?
That's it. Just playing a lot of games, eating a lot of takeaway food.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good takeaway food.
Drinking wine at lunchtime when you're working from home and you're not meant to. I hope my boss isn't listening to this one.
Yeah, I got put on furlough for like 3 months, and what a 3 months!
What a 3 months! Mate. So you did recently, I saw on your Twitter and social media and whatnot, the NHS SmackDown, or NH SmackDown. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's NHS SmackDown. I think
NHS SmackDown.
Like if you read it, it looks like NH SmackDown, but it's
exactly.
NHS SmackDown.
Yeah.
And it was great. So it's this art piece, this kind of performance by a nurse who is also a performer and a wrestler. And they tell their story of training to be a nurse, becoming a nurse, all the harrowing elements of that, how things affected it. And then there's a lot of the story is delivered by professional wrestling in there. So yeah, it was me and me as essentially Nick Clegg and another worker as David Cameron. We were austerity versus a nurse.
Wow.
I played, it was either fatigue or burnout. I can't remember which one, in like a gauntlet match against an NHS worker. And then I played, there's a harrowing story about a patient they're trying to resuscitate, and it goes on for hours and doesn't work. And then I come back later in the show as PTSD and just launch the body at her.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite powerful. Like a lot
Wow.
of that, I didn't expect it to hit me as hard as it did. But my
Mm.
God, nurses are underpaid heroes, man. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, big up the nurses. And
Yeah.
yeah, so if you ever see NHS SmackDown is performing, go watch it. It's an absolute emotional roller coaster with spandex, which is always nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds very much like professional wrestling in that it's an emotional roller coaster in spandex, but a little bit
That's
more
it.
close to home.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome. That sounds good. Really, really good. So one thing I picked up on, and you've been doing it for a while now, and it's
Ooh.
this whole stills from your matches with the title of a film, and then what I imagine is the Rotten Tomatoes score or a
Yes.
percentage. What's that about? Where did it come from? Like, I find it hilarious to see those, but what's it all about?
I'm shit at captioning things. Frankly, I'm awful at captioning things. You see, like Chris Brooks, who is what maybe the coolest man on the planet with song lyrics. And I thought, if I put song lyrics on a photo of me, it's going to look the wankiest thing ever. I'm not cool. Stop that noise. And like, oh my God, if I see another one, someone putting a photo like on a Monday, and it's just Mondays. I'm going, oh, I don't want to be that person. Like, so I just saw one thing and it reminded me of something. I was like, oh, let's just. I'm not sure if I did it with albums before or something. I used to do it with Wikipedia entries.
Okay.
And so it'd be like, I don't know. For example, I don't think I've ever done this, but it'd be like The Office 2000 whatever is a American sitcom about blah 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 blah, and I'd just do that as if that was the image accompanying a Wikipedia article.
I see.
But you know, it's a bit of fucking long. Where you can just you can just
put a film title,
look at a film or a movie, and just see what its Rotten Tomatoes scores is. So, you know what? It was born out of laziness, as most of my performance and lifestyle is. It's born through how can I get the most effective outcome for the least effort. And so yeah, that's kind of where I go. I've kind of. I'll vary it up occasionally. Like there'll be an extract from a noir novel if I'm ever doing the noir gimmick. But yeah, like it's Joy. It's laziness. It's just me not being asked to be cool, and it's like this is funny enough. Like no one's going on Insta for the captions, but you know they're there.
What is it they call minimal viable product? Is that what it is? Just the laziest, it'll get through, it'll get a laugh. Is that kind of the thought behind it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like trying hard's overrated.
Oh man.
There's people listening to this going, you disgust me. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I honestly don't. I've got this far, I'm getting further, and I'm pretty happy. So like, I don't care.
Is that why you were getting so angry in there, Super Smash Mob 12?
Yeah.
Oh, don't even start me about that.
Please talk to us about that, because watching that in person was just like, what the like, it's brilliant, but it's just, I wouldn't even say it's organized chaos. It was just pandemonium.
So I now have a rule, and I say, look, if you're ever going to introduce a new match type to your show, whoever's booked this needs to be in the first match so they know the bullshit they're putting me in. No, it is what it is. It was just madness, and I still hate it. Like, and it's over and done with, and I don't have to be in it again. But I hate it. The concept where you can win a match and still not get the prize. Oh, daft, smelly. None of that, right?
Out with it.
Out with it.
Oh man. Okay.
They came up to me, they were like, oh, we're thinking about putting it on main. And I was like, don't put the worst match on main. I had someone come up to me afterwards. I think he was one of a journalist. They were just like, oh man, you really sold the frustration in that match. I was like, what are you even talking about? Like, there was no fucking selling in there. Grow up.
It's all me.
I saw a great photo of just me, Mambo, and TK sat on some audience members' laps, and I just looked furious. But saying that, yeah, the laziness, it comes to common sense there, and it's just like, well, What's funny is that I hate this. That's the truth. And I think people would really vibe off that if I just say how much I hate this.
It definitely added something to the match.
Oh, it really did. It really
And
did.
that match needed things taken away. There was too much of everything. Saying that, you had comedy, you had action, you had 90,000 people jumping out of the ring, you had pile drivers, you had backflips, you had 4 shooting star presses from 4 different positions at the exact same time. Like, wrestling, in my opinion, is supposed to be a variety show from start to finish. Something's different throughout. That was the variety show in one fucking match.
Yeah.
And it went on 7 years too long. I don't know if I've explained this to you, but I hated that match.
You're not going to
realize my Zoom name says my shoot name. That's not going to come up on the podcast, is it?
No, I'll get rid of it.
Got an overlay for that.
No, my real name was William Shatner. It's weird.
I know.
Shatner's bassoon.
That's it. So yeah, that was Mob Smash. It was great, apart from most of it. And you know what? I made a tweet about it the next day, and I meant every single word of it. The fact that match got a standing ovation, and the fact that match was so well received means they're gonna do it again, and I am livid.
Yeah. And you're going to be in it. You are absolutely in it.
And that's the exact same thing. Because it got over, and because people know I hate it, it only makes sense to put me in the next one.
It's going to be like Marty
and
DOA.
It's going to be like what?
It's just
like Marty and DOA.
They were like, "Don't worry, we won't put you in it." And I was like, "No, it's really good booking if you do," and I hate that. The things I do for you people.
It's just going to spawn countless angry Gene Money memes.
Angry
face Gene Money.
Just think of the merch.
Sorry, go ahead, Jen.
Think of the what?
The merch possibilities for it. Release a shirt saying I hate this match or something.
I hope they do it again just so I can get over how much I hate that match again.
You mentioned tweeting there. You've got a really quite different Twitter game to everyone else because obviously you do like your promos where you walk in the dog. How do you come up with so many ideas? Is it again the laziness thing, or is it just going, oh, this would be great, let's see if it works?
James, I do them in one take. So I'll be there'll be some times where it's just like some promoters are just like, oh, can you get us a promo for this? And I'm like, yeah. What direction? Do you want me? And do you want me to freestyle, whatever? Yeah. Oh my God, I'm breaking so many fourth walls right now. And it's like, I used to just be like, if I go even the slightest bit out of a promo, I'll have my backdrop and shit like that. And if I go slightly bit out, I've got to re-record and I've got to re-record. And then by that time, it's 74 takes for just me I'll see you with the Thunderdome, brother. And, it's taking me 4 hours to get that one extract because I hate doing the promo to camera. I know I have to, but I hate it. So again, it is laziness, but it's also, I hate promos where they're just filmed like this and it's blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that so much.
Yeah.
And when there are people like Charles Crowley doing fantastic promos that are, let's put it, even the one where he was getting sucked off recently is sensational.
Cinematic perfection.
Oh, isn't it just Crowley's the best promo game? And so in my head I just went, why the fuck am I competing with this? Why would I even choose to compete with this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do the thing I hate because I want to mock everyone who actually does one. And so I just walked with my camera and I just did one take and I went, there, that's good enough. And I have kept that persistence now. I will go out for a dog walk and I'm like, right, what's annoying me? Record, go. Because I do think mild annoyance is Gene Money's best motivation.
Love it. I'm part of a Facebook group which is called the Department of Petty Rage.
I would fit in so well there.
Frequently post on there about the pettiest things, and I'm justified in it because there's so many people, and it's absolutely fine, and people enjoy it. So I get you. I absolutely get you. And if you're looking for a faction name in the future for other people, that's it. You can have G Money's Department of Petty Rage.
But I was on holiday and I was chatting with my wife about the match, the Super Mob Smash one. She went,
Your
"That
favorite
sounds
match?
And she said, "Oh, that sounds stupid." And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And then we just walk into this slide at the hotel, and I was like, "Oh my flip flops!" And I just got my phone out and I full on just recorded the promo, went down the flume, and I think in the Instagram version of it, you can hear me say, "Yeah, that's good enough." After my phone goes in the water. Phone was not waterproof. Couldn't use my SIM card for about 4 hours afterwards, but it's all right. That's how much I love this industry. / can't be asked to do anything more. And at the end of the day, that got more reaction online than the announcement for the bloody match did. So why should I be trying harder?
Fair
Silly,
play,
smelly.
man. You are smashing it on social media. It's
You know what? I don't feel like I am. I don't feel like I am. I hate social media because it's like you've literally got numerical metrics of this is how much you're worth. This is how much people like you. And that, as a performer, I fucking hate it. You know, you just wake up and go, I'll put something good out. And it's like, the internet doesn't think so. You're like, oh, I should have tried. Hence the videos.
Oh, mate. We've got, so we're going to start to maybe wrap up our semi-serious questions, and then we'll go to some from our Discord server.
Let's do it.
Which are a little more light-hearted. But the last couple, firstly, what are your goals and aspirations kind of going forward at this point?
I mean, I want to dream big. 100% I want to dream big. And I'll say that I want to, be contracted and things like that. But I know that wrestling comes down to two things: hard work and somebody else's decision. And I can only control the first one. So I'm going to work on, I can only control the first one, and I can't control the second one. So I'm just going to work on the first one. So I know for a fact how much life can change in a heartbeat. My life outside of wrestling is somewhat chaotic and a little bit hectic. And I know that things can change like that. And I've had 5-year plans before. I've had 3-year plans before. I've had 2-minute plans before. And I know they don't work out. So right now for wrestling, oh yeah, God, I'd absolutely love it. And I'm working towards getting a contract, sure. But all I care about right now is enjoying the journey I'm on. If I'm not enjoying the journey I'm on, then what's the fucking point of doing it? And if that leads me to somewhere, oh, fantastic. But if I'm not enjoying the journey I'm on and it leads to somewhere, good chance I'm not going to enjoy that destination. So my goal right now is to crack on and not die.
Good man. Good man. And do you have any advice for those looking to get into wrestling? Well, not even necessarily young people getting it, like any age really, but anyone that's looking at taking their first steps into it?
I literally trained with someone who's literally started training at the age of, I think, 51.
Wow.
They're very good. But no, so wrestling doesn't matter about age. I think just be honest with yourself. I think that's the advice I'm going to get, because in this industry of all characters and all this and winning and losing and bullshit, it's very easy to get lost in bullshit. Just be true to self. Remember who you are. Remember why you wanted to get into this. There are times in this industry you will get bitter. Why isn't that me who's getting that opportunity? Why am I doing this? Why aren't I doing that? And that's natural. But just remember, bitterness is never going to be a motivating tool. It's only going to make you worse. Focus on yourself. Know what you're good at, work on it. Know what you're bad on, work on it harder. Industry can change in a heartbeat. There's people who have received lifetimes worth of opportunities because of one moment. And that's great. Just prepare for that moment. Make sure you're 100% ready every single time. Just be true to yourself, know who you are, and look for inspirations outside of wrestling, because inside of wrestling, everything's been done before.
That's
advice. My advice. I actually sound competent for once.
Sound advice. Really sound advice. Thank you. Jay, what have we got next, mate?
We've got Discord questions next, which are mostly nonsense. There's one or two serious ones in there, but largely nonsense. So first off, we've got what's the best breed of dog?
I'm a full on don't shop adopt kind of boy. So in my opinion, it does not matter. My dog, he's somewhere around here. Hey, don't come here and be up. No, he's fine. He's like a lab crossed with something else, He's the most looking Greek street dog you've ever seen because he's a former Greek street dog. Like, I don't care about breeders. They're all good boys. Saying that, he hates French Bull Terriers, so I don't know what they're hiding.
We've got a street dog as well from Romania, and she's also a lab cross with something and something else, and we're not
Gotta
quite
send
sure.
me photos, bro. Gotta send me photos of this.
We'll do, man.
Yeah, she's a good girl. Next, what does it take to be the Gene Munny champion of Gene Munny?
Well, one, you got to hold the Gene Munny championship of Gene Munny. I thought that was relatively obvious. Discord, grow up. Two, you need the tenacity and you need the audacity and, frankly, the laziness to be able to pull this off. I think most people would look like an idiot wearing that championship, myself excluded. I'm fucking fire. But I think, you need a certain level of, I don't know, that it factor, that je ne sais quoi. Like, you got to wear that belt going, man, I'm never going to get signed. And you got to wear that with pride. You got to wear that fully proudly. That's what it takes, Discord person.
Next, we've got, what's your favorite dog treat?
My favorite dog treat, well, for me or my dog, because like I've had a couple of dog chocolates before. They're all right. They're not great, but there's I've got a packet of, what are they? God, this is not good content.
Right.
Right. Them like fake little rawhide bones with a chicken wrapped around. I give one to my dog and I give one to my cat because he can't deal with that. And he's there for about an hour and it keeps him busy. Anything that stops my cat meowing at me is a good treat. He's a loud boy. And because he's got epilepsy, we've got to give him medicine 12 hours apart. So twice a day. And so we can't feed him above a certain time or before a certain time or whatever. And if he wakes you up at 5 a.m., you're just like, oh no, he's just going to be loud at me. Or, I ain't sleeping anymore. This is nonsense. Saying that, he's amazing.
Nice.
Right. Next, we've got, would you ever consider defending the Gene Munny championship of Gene Munny in a dog collar match?
Oh, I mean, all right. Let me put this question to you. James, would you consider defending your house against me when you've got no reward for it?
No.
Well, why should I defend mine? I am in no legal obligation to do as such. And people are like, oh, defend it. Why would I? Like, I've got this cup. I'm not going to defend it. I want this cup. Look at this. It's a cat brain training game. It's mine. Why would I defend that? Just stop asking for my stuff. Get your own stuff, Discord person. Fuck's sake.
Oh God.
Oh, that got answered. Do you prefer the term kennel or doghouse?
Doghouse.
There we go.
Fair.
I thought that would be what's been this is a serious one now. What's been your favourite match of the last year, because you've had a lot of bangers?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Discord man, for the bangers acknowledgement. Different ones for different reasons. So we're gonna have a run through. Loved my match with Ridgeway, strong style. I wrestled that with a broken hand. That was fun. But just like that match wasn't moves and shit. That match wasn't, this match that was just full on Gene's out of his fucking depth and injured, and I really enjoyed that match because it kind of showed a different side of me. That was nice. Loved my match with Maggot. Dude's the absolute boss.
Yeah.
That was when I debuted this bitch. For people listening, that bitch would be my championship belt. And Maggot's great. Obviously, match with Janela. Janela's the absolute don. I think match 1 with Scotty probably, I think, was better than match 2. I mean, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But I think it's because, like, you know, you can't relive a first moment again. There's a gnocchi dish at this restaurant near my hometown, and I've never eaten gnocchi in restaurants, only at home. And I'd never have gone for it, but the chef recommended it, and it was the nicest meal I've ever had. Honestly, I can't put it over enough. But I had it again, and it was good, but the shock was gone of how good it was. And I feel like that was my second match with Scotty Tuati. So yeah, Scotty, Janela, Maggot, Ridgeway. Don't know. What other bangers have I had?
So I think no. But you've named all the ones that come to mind.
As I say, I'd have definitely put the Janela one in there, and your one with Maggot. I really enjoyed the one with Maggot.
I really like the match you have with Ricky Shane Page.
Oh yeah, Ricky's a great lad. Yeah, absolutely. Again, would have been nicer if the network have actually got some audio from inside the ring, but you know, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Ricky's bloody great. Ricky's bloody great. Max said, I enjoyed Max said. It was only 8 minutes, but it was 8 fun minutes.
You were really serious in that as well, because
I'm a fighty boy. Oh, don't in the back of the head. I'll fucking show you. And hence why I have the belt. Like, no, it's yeah, it was serious because, you know, as a character in that, I was trying to build up momentum, and a big Irishman who, nor an Irishman, he drop kicks me in the back of the head, and it's just like, yo, look at me, I'm built like a wrestler, I'm dead sexy. What are you, Gene Munny? You look like a puddle of lard. Grow up. And that lit a fire under me, let me tell you. But you know, nobody wants to be emasculated. So I emasculated and maxed instead. Fun.
There it is.
I've had some fun. Don't get me wrong. I've had some great matches. North. I had a 6-man. That was fun. Me and Lycos Jim, because we're the Good Boy Jim gang there, against HT Drake and Crashboat. Crashboat, hella underrated tag team. I've just had a lot of fun, man. Just like, I got to be that Moneywood Blondes at Resurgence with Elijah. I mean, with Gene Munny. One of my favorite matches was Detective Gene Munny versus Butch, as performed by Doris. We did a suspenders pull off, and the first time I grabbed his and pinged it back, it just pinged off his trousers and blinded him. And then it's just me just trying not to burst out laughing. Just full on gone. It may have been the funniest match I've been a part of, and I love that shit, man. You've
been a part of some funny matches, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, like going back to Resurgence, the Into the Moneyverse match with Jörn Simmons, Visage, and Doris was gold.
I remember them. I remember Resurgence coming up to me and saying, well, not literally, they were on Messenger. They were as distant away from me as you can be. But they said, hey, we're doing a film-inspired show. We've got Pirates of the Caribbean with
BDSM and Lycos. Yeah.
We've got a Reservoir Dogs thing. Do you want to do a Gene Munny thing? And they were kind of thinking being John Malkovich vibe of it, where I think it was going to be a gauntlet match of just me's, which would have been fun. But obviously, the Reservoir Dogs turns into a gauntlet match. I think the original idea, because they were, I kind of regret it now, but they wanted Doug Williams as Gene Munny in there.
Oh wow!
But I had a skinhead at the time, not like
I remember. Yeah.
So I pitched a load of bald people. So it was just going to be a triple threat originally of me, Jörn, and Visage. But I think at SWA cancelled on Doris, so Doris just became me as well. Fortunately, I've got enough gear for everyone. So yeah, and that was the new Progress owners' first time they'd ever seen me.
Yep.
And yeah.
You'll do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Speaking of matches that you've had, You're currently, I think, still in the longest lasting Falls Count Anywhere match ever.
Yeah, over 3.5 years.
What would be the perfect way for you to pin her now, and how would you go about it?
Right this second?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Or just in general as well.
I need to get a flight to Ireland first. I don't know where she lives. It's going to take a while. I think I'm just gonna, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to staple her shoulders to the floor. She's too wriggly. Like, it is way too wriggly. Like, I've been trying to pin that woman for years. And yeah, she's just not staying down. I don't know, super glue maybe.
Gorilla
I think
glue.
super glue. I've never gone adhesive with her yet. So I think that might have to be the next.
Or Velcro.
Velcro, yeah. Yeah, Velcro's not a bad shout, but I think super glue is more application, but I know there'd be shenanigans and I'd get stuck to her and the match would continue and then someone would book as a Siamese twins. Listen to me booking a fun chat. That'd be good.
Oh, watch this
If you're
space.
if bookers, if you're listening to this, steal my ideas, but only if you book it well. If not, I'll run my own show.
Steal them, but give me the royalties.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the final Discord question we've got. Obviously you're in the faction with Lycos, but who would make up your proverbial Noah's Ark stable of animal-based wrestlers?
Oh shit, that's a great question. Whoever that was,
That's from
Jake the Snake. No one's kicked out of his DDT. Let's keep that in there. Junkyard Dog. I need another dog to keep me grounded. Danny DeVito as Frank Reynolds as a man cheater. I know he's not a wrestler, but I just love the concept of I'm a man cheater. Who else have we got? One of the Lycos boys. Take your pick. Don't mind. Who else do we have? Oh, no, not you. Hey, knock it off. I'll be back in a sec. Hey. Hey. Hello, you been noisy? Good boy. Here he is. Noisy lad.
Hello, mate.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Rhino.
Nice.
Good shot.
I mean, you said Noah's Ark. That sounds like 2x2, hurrah, hurrah. So I don't know. I don't know if there's another Rhino.
That'll do. I mean, that's a solid 4 or 5 in there.
Yeah, that'll do it. Awesome.
Nice.
And finally, we've got the quick fire round that we do at the end. So 60 seconds to answer all these. Let's do it.
I was going to say 60 seconds unless you'll take Mayfairs, who took about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Of course he does. Tate loves a good talk, doesn't he?
Oh, it's brilliant. Take this as greatness.
Tate is greatness.
Yeah.
Right. So let's do this. Dream match or opponent, dead or alive.
Me versus John Cena in a working men's club with no more than 100 people in there and no cameras allowed.
Amazing. Dream tag partner.
John Cena in a working men's club with more than less than 100 people. I want this to be myth. I want people to not think this happened.
No, I was there. I saw it. It's just going to be like one of the Mandela effect things. Like, no, it did happen.
Yeah.
Just grainy footage, like a Bigfoot sighting. Favorite pay-per-view?
SummerSlam 2002.
Favorite match?
Brock Lesnar, Eddie Guerrero, No Way Out 2004.
Rock or Stone Cold?
Rock.
Sting or Undertaker?
Sting.
NWO or DX?
NWO, cooler t-shirt.
Edge or Christian?
Edge. Saying that, love Christian as well, but I've got a really shit Edge tattoo on my back because I was a fucking mark when I was 16. I'm still a fucking mark now, but I don't got more ink on me now. I just got this smelly ass Edge arm tattoo that I thought, oh no, I don't want to look too marky. Let's get it slightly different. And by different, I mean worse. Idiot child.
Best entrance music.
Oh God. Ricky Starks has got a banger. No, actually, maybe
Yes.
Sting's AEW music's dope.
Yeah, I like both of them.
Yeah.
Brett or Sean?
Controversial. Don't care.
It's fair.
Fair.
And finally,
They're both wrestlers. They were both good. I don't need to take sides.
yeah, that's fair. And finally, Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
Oh shit. Me personally, or what I think the Mount Rushmore of wrestling should be.
You personally?
Yeah.
Me personally. All right. Chris Brooks. Christian Cage from TNA. Oh shit, the bed. Warren Banks and The Miz. Wow, that's weird.
Quite a diverse four, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Miz is great. He's had one injury in like a 12-year career.
Yeah.
That's
And that
true.
was
Like,
stubbing his
he's
toe or
still
something. I don't know.
entertaining. He's still hateable. And again, he was someone that no one expected to be as good as he was. And he's fantastic. And I don't care if people think he's an average wrestler or whatever. Don't matter. Boy's got longevity. Boy's made millions. Boy should be on Mount Rushmore for just the life he has led in wrestling.
Absolutely.
Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more.
He won the championship last year and no one remembers.
That was just that nonsense transitional phase.
Like sick. Like
Who did he take it off? Took it off. Who did he take it off?
Took it off Drew to give it to Bobby, didn't he?
Oh yeah, that was fucking
It was
nonsense.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah. 8 days, I think he held it for.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's weird.
Yeah. Pandemic, innit? Different time. It's all a bit odd. With that, we have wrapped up everything. That has been fantastic. Thank you.
Hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
Good.
It's been hilarious, insightful, everything around that. It's been lovely. Thank you so much. We appreciate
You're
your time.
very welcome. Out of all the sit downs I've had today, this has definitely been one of them. Yeah.
Grand. Is before we go, this interview is going to go out fairly soon. So is there anywhere that people can find you over the next few weeks or so?
No, like I had some bookings in October. They got cancelled because the wrestling industry is an absolute shittown sometimes.
Ooh.
Other than that, I am at if it's this week, I'm at Apex on Friday in Milton Keynes, my old stomping ground, City of Dreams. I'm not at Progress. They just don't want me, man.
The mics aren't good enough. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I can't tell you because it's a surprise. I don't think I'm at Extreme Fields. Jay said he'd get back in touch, but if not, I'm going to go watch the ice hockey. It's not all bad, is it?
That's all right. It's not all about wrestling.
Also, there's 15 matches on that card. I don't think they need another one.
16, including the Rumble.
Yeah,
there's a Rumble.
There's a ruddy Rumble.
Oh, Jay, don't listen to this if you book me. Christ. This show looks incredible. I no fibs. Like, I mean, sod staying there for all of it, but it sounds pretty great.
Aye.
Are you going to it?
We are,
we're
yeah.
part of it.
We're part
You're
of it.
part of it.
Aye.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm doing a lot of the interviews, a few backstage bits and pieces. So yeah,
You
we will be in attendance. It's going to be a long old day, but
shoes, yeah.
pardon?
Comfortable shoes.
That's it. Well, yeah, semi. Maybe half a size too small. We'll see.
Yeah.
You take care of yourself, boys. 15 matches is a lot.
It is. It's a long old slog.
Including the Rumble. My apologies. Yeah, other than that, you can follow me on Twitter at I'm So Munny.
Instagram at Gene_Munny, Facebook at just Gene Munny. That's right. I decided not to homogenize my brand and have 3 individual URLs because I'm a fuckwit. Merchandise is at goodboygang.com, boy with an I, or damndirtydog.co.uk. Or if I've not done the redirect correctly, it's genemoney.bigcartel.com. Wow.
Boom. Sold.
You could have
That's
bought
that
these, but they've all gone into production now and you can't buy them anymore.
It's all right. Got a badge. We're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That'll do us then. Thank you very, very much for listening. As always, we appreciate your time. If you don't already, please do give us a follow on our social media outlets. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Untitled Wrestling Podcasts, and Twitter, Twitch, and Discord at Untitled Rest Pod. What's that?
You did it much better than I did.
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue now. It took a while. The first few attempts were piss poor.
No, I mean, at least you've homogenized your branding. You've just got one URL for everything.
Oh, we've got 2.
Near enough 2. Untitled Rest Pod and Untitled Wrestling Podcast, because, character limits.
Longer.
Yeah. Well, boys, I respect your hustle.
Thank you very much.
People say, can we get a podcast with you? I'm like, yeah. And then I regret it halfway through. But I didn't regret this until the very end, lad. So I just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Very much appreciated.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.